Whenever traders talk about the Holy Grail, they're usually picturing some perfect, flawless strategy that just never loses. But what if I told you the real secret to making incredible returns has almost nothing to do with how often you win, and absolutely everything to do with how you lose?
I know, it sounds completely backward, right? We're all obsessed with finding that next big stock, that huge winner. But according to a trading legend like Mark Minervini, the real magic, the true edge the pros have, isn't in their winning trades. Nope. It's hidden in their losing ones.
All right, to really get how this works, we need to strip trading down to the studs. Let's forget all the fancy charts and indicators for a second and just start with a simple 50-50 bet.
Think about it. The second you buy a stock, it could, in theory, go up forever. Infinite potential. On the other hand, it could also crash and burn, going all the way to zero. That's the entire field of play. So how do we possibly make money in a world with those two extremes?
Well, let's start by assuming you have zero special ability to predict the future. Every trade is just a coin flip. A 50% chance you're right, 50% chance you're wrong. And get this, Minervini himself says his career win rate is only about 50%. That's so important. It means you don't need a crystal ball to make an absolute fortune.
Okay, so if you're only going to be right half the time, how on earth do you make serious money? This is where the real strategy kicks in. It's all about taking that basic coin flip and figuring out how to load the coin in your favor. It's about creating a mathematical edge.
And that edge, it all comes down to this one simple ratio, 3-to-1. This number right here is the bedrock of the entire system. It's the relationship between how much you make when you win versus how much you risk when you lose.
So here's what that 3-to-1 ratio looks like in the real world. Your goal is to make your average winning trade a solid 15% gain. But, and this is key, you ruthlessly, without emotion, cut any losing trade when it hits a 5% loss. Your winners are literally 3 times bigger than your losers.
This analogy just illustrates the power of that edge perfectly. Imagine we're playing a game with a special coin. It's still a fair 50-50 flip, but every time it lands on heads, you win $3. And when it's tails, you only lose $1. See? It's not a game of chance anymore. It's a game of positive mathematical expectancy.
Of course you would. You'd want to stand there and flip that coin all day, every day. The more you play, the more that mathematical edge basically guarantees you're going to come out ahead. The law of large numbers becomes your best friend, and every trade you make is just another flip of that special coin.
All right, now this is where the whole strategy gets really wild because it completely flips what most people think about trading right on its head. Most of us think success means hunting for that one stock that's going to go up 1,000%, that one life-changing home run.
Now, this is going to sound crazy, but chasing that massive monster gain can actually end up hurting your overall profits. How is that possible? Well, it's because of the time and capital you have tied up just waiting for that one big hit. That money could be working so much harder for you somewhere else.
So if going for the biggest win isn't the best strategy, what is? Well, the answer lies in the quiet, unstoppable force of compounding. And the math here, it's really going to open your eyes.
Okay, just look at this. Let's say you find one amazing trade that doubles your money. That's 100% return. Awesome, right? But what if instead you made 4 separate trades that each gained a more realistic 20% and you just rolled those profits from one to the next? You'd actually end up with 107% return. And get this, it gets even better. What if you found 8 trades that each went up just 10%? Your total return jumps to 114%. It's way easier to find small, consistent winners, and by compounding them, you actually beat the single home run.
So this brings us right to the big conclusion. What is this holy grail that traders spend their entire lives looking for? It's not some magic software or some secret pattern on a chart. It's a simple, repeatable process.
This is it, right here. The holy grail of trading is just 2 simple things. First, finding and sticking to a strategy that gives you a mathematical edge. Like making $3 for every one you risk. And second, doing it over and over and over again, as many times as you can to let those probabilities play out in your favor.
And that just says it all, perfectly. You're not looking for the biggest possible gain in one trade. You're looking for the optimal gain that you can find repeatedly. It's about frequency. It's about consistency. That is the engine that drives compounding. And according to Mark Minervini, that is the true holy grail.